Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast this evening. Tonight, I want to share a little bit about Ezekiel's vision in Ezekiel 1 about the mobile throne, or what the mystics call the Merkabah chariot throne. So we're going to uncover some mysteries there. I'm not going to read Ezekiel 1, but that's the reference scriptures that I'm going to use. So you can go there after this and read that again. Very enlightening. And we just want to share a brief outline of that here today. So we want to embark on the journey to uncover the mysteries of the Merkabah chariot and the Old Testament's story there. So the macabre chariot is a recurring theme in biblical depictions of prophetic visions, notably that of Ezekiel and Isaiah. Ezekiel wasn't the only one. Isaiah was also a witness or a prophetic visionary that saw and experienced the Merkabah. Its name comes from the Hebrew words Merkava with a V-A-H. The two words Merkava and Merkabah are interchangeable. The meaning of those words are chariot or kabod, which translates to glory. And the heavenly chariot weaved with intricate details, very detailed. You know, God is really detailed in everything he does, the temple, etc. And so this chariot throne has intricate details that are detailed in Ezekiel 1. And it represents the vehicle through which God's glory and splendor descend upon the earth. And it is described as a vision of fiery wheels, luminous beings, and a majestic thrones, all enveloped by radiant light. At the heart of the Merkabah is the divine throne, symbolizing God's eternal sovereignty and authority, or omnipresence and omniscience and omnipotence in everything we do here on earth, that we can share with him in that as his legislative and judicial sons. And so the mystery of the Merkabah chariot serves as a reminder of his transcendence and the holiness of our Creator. It also calls us to reflect on the magnificence of God's presence and his infinite power. So, although the Merkabah chariot holds profound significance for Christians, it remains veiled in mystery. A lot of us don't understand. I've gained a lot of perspectives of the mobile chariot throne from some of the mystical writings, rabbinical teachings outside of the word that are very enlightening, that kind of led me to believe this, and some experiences I've had as well. I'll share in a minute. But as we ponder the mysteries of the Merkabah chariot, let us be reminded of the depth of God's love and his eternal glory that awaits us in his presence at any given moment, any given time. So I want to thank you for joining us today on this journey of uncovering the divine throne and through the enigmatic Merkabah chariot. So pretty awesome. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join us on the Patreon. I'll put the link in the comments below for more content of our governance masterclass and our Mobilize the Legislators initiative. That are two weekly meetings that we have every week, that we go into the mysteries of God. We want to explore, discover those, and experience those things. Mean that we have to be some great who's who or in some great movement. It applies for whosoever will step into experiencing these. So it's available to all of us, you and me both. So the term Merkava uh, means a thing to ride in or a cart and is derived from the root word, which general meaning is to ride in a cart or to ride in this mobile chariot throne. The word chariot is found 44 times in the text of the Hebrew Bible, most of them referring to normal chariots on earth. And although the concept of Merkabah is associated with Ezekiel's vision in chapter 1, 4 through 26, the word is not explicitly written in Ezekiel 1. So that's where I had to go find out things from the rabbinical writings and teachings of the mysteries of God. And so this is very powerful when it comes down to talking about the courtrooms of heaven and the mobile throne, where we litigate on earth. So However, the Hebrew term Merkabah relates to the throne chariot of God in prophetic visions in Ezekiel and Isaiah. It is most closely associated with the vision in Ezekiel 1. Again, I want you to go back and read of the four-wheeled vehicle driven by four living creatures, each of which has four wings and four faces of man, the lion, ox, and the man. So it is also where we get the concept of the mobile throne for the courtrooms of heaven, where the wheels actually touch the earth and give us access to the courts. In essence, the mobile throne is not necessarily a place where we have to go to, like the courts of heaven. We think we have to ascend to go there, but this is a powerful example of where many people, revelators, have seen that this is where the mobile court happens, where the essence of the mobile throne is, and we don't have to go to a place or ascend to a place to engage with the courtrooms of heaven. It's a place where we can engage, litigate, or walk in at any given time or place as his governing, legislative, and judicial sons. We can litigate in the courts of heaven here on earth, but I prefer to go into the courtrooms of heaven. I think it's powerful there, but what I do with this is I'm a governing co-creator with Yahweh in everything I do, everything I say. All my actions are governing. So in essence, as this throne moves, it moves with me in my governmental capacities and function here on earth as a heavenly ambassador. And I don't have to necessarily focus on going somewhere, going up, coming up here. I function in that mobile throne 24/7, 365, even in my dreams. And so it's an interesting concept how we generally think we have to go someplace, but this is a place of engagement where we can engage 24/7, 365. The more you practice that, the better you'll come with it. So we exercise our spiritual senses by reason of use. So don't wait, contend, tarry, or press in. Just step into this and watch what God begins to show you and do it with your life and in your dreams. And when you're awake, you'll begin to experience things. You begin to think, well, this is pretty awesome. You'll think I'm doing things here that I couldn't do from the battlefield, that I couldn't do fighting demons, but I'm a governing, legislative, and judicial son in this capacity, operating out of the throne, the mobile throne, and being led by the likeness of man. So Ezekiel's vision consists of a chariot made of many heavenly beings, driven by what? The likeness of man. So the likeness of man is Yeshua. He's in control. And so he's the one administrating. He's the one, you're not doing your own thing. You're following what Yeshua leads you to do. We only do what we see the Father do, and we only say what we hear our Father say. And we give honor to him and give him preeminence, not my will, but yours be done. And we begin to operate under his governmental authority as co-creators, co-legislators, co-petitioners that establishes the law from there to the earth. It always overrules any lower form of government. So when we operate there, we have the power and ability and authority to overrule any lower form of government here on earth. There are governments, there are also court systems. So the base structure of the chariot is composed of four beings. These beings are called living creatures, or hayot, the Hebrew word hayot, Hayyot, but they're living creatures. Bodies of the creatures are like that of a human being, but each of them has four faces corresponding to four directions that the chariot can move: east, south, north, and west at any given moment whenever Yeshua leads, the one controlling the structure. So the faces are that of a man, a lion, an ox, the four faces: man, lion, eagle, and ox. A change to a cherub in Ezekiel 10:14, and are now an angel or an eagle. So since there are four angels and each has four faces, there are a total of 16 faces. That'd be an interesting number to look up. 16 faces. Probably has to do something with governmental things and legislative and judicial activity. I haven't looked it up. I'm going to do that after we get off, and I'll post it in the comments below. So each of the living being angels also have 4 wings. 2 of these wings spread across the length of the chariot and connect with the wings of the angel on the other side. This creates a sort of a box of wings that forms the perimeter of the chariot. With the remaining 2 wings, each angel covers its own body. So below and not attached to the feet of the living beings, the angels, are other angels that are shaped like wheels. Remember in the story, it talks about wheels within wheels. They're angelic wheels. They're a living angelic being. They're not just wheels like we have on our trucks and cars and vehicles here. They are living beings filled with eyes. So they're all seeing, the omniscience of God sees everything, knows everything. And so we're getting a picture of how this thing works. It's a living being, a living entity that is available to us at any given place, any given time. Anything we do with him, co-create, co-legislate, co-govern with him, that mobile throne or chariot throne is always with us. So these wheel angels, which are described a wheel inside of a wheel, are called ophanim. That's a class of angels, literally, that look like wheels and cycles or ways. These wheels are not directly under the chariot, but are nearby and along its perimeter. So it's this supernatural being that's somewhat separate from the other parts, but all one entity, all one living entity. The angel with the face of man is always on the east side and looks up at the likeness of man that drives the chariot, and the likeness of man sits on the throne made of sapphire. How'd you like to see that, have an encounter with that? The Bible later makes mention of the third type of angel found in the Merkabah called seraphim. That word translates into a burning angel or serpent. So these angels appear like flashes of fire and continuously ascending and descending upon the earth. But that's where they abide, right there in the mobile chariot throne. The seraphim angels power the movement of the chariot. In the hierarchy of these angels, Hayoth, or the living beings, are the highest, that is closest to the God, followed by the Ophanim, which are all followed by the seraphim. So there's kind of a hierarchy there. And the chariot is a constant state of motion, and energy behind its movement runs according to this hierarchy. And so it goes wherever the spirit goes. It goes wherever Yeshua, the likeness of man, directs it to go. So if you have a need here on the earth, and you need to govern in that, you haven't been successful in your warfare mentality, but you're learning how to operate in the courts of heaven, and as a governor, as a co-creator, as a legislative judicial son, you begin to understand that, hey, I'm operating in union with him, and in union and oneness with this mobile throne. And so the movement of the Ophanim is controlled by the living creatures, while the movement of the Hayot, or the living creatures, is controlled by the seraphim, and the movement of the angels of the chariot is controlled by the likeness of man on the throne. And so I just want to share a quick couple of examples. It talks about in Ezekiel 1 and Elijah being caught up in a tornado, a whirlwind. And I had 2 experiences. One was I was traveling with a friend from Los Angeles to Phoenix, Arizona to speak in a conference there. And we drove right through a whirlwind, a dust devil, we call those in the desert. We drove right through it and just shook the car. And we both looked at each other and we said, "Did you feel that?" It was glory just filled our car. And we had no idea what was going on, but the scenery didn't change. It all looked the same, but we got to our destination 2 hours earlier than what we expected. So this chariot throne is also a supernatural transportational device that accelerates us beyond the realm of time, that gets us to a new destination. But it also marks a shift in your life, in your ministry, in whatever you are engaging in. That takes you to a different dimensional place in the spirit realm and that manifest in the natural, where things are happening at a place and a level that they haven't happened before. Another time, I was living in Reno, Nevada, and I had a ministry there. And I invited a young man to go down to a church there to attend a leadership meeting. Got through the whole meeting. It lasted a week, and we 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 were needing to leave early to get back to Reno for our meeting. Man, we had to go. We had to, I'm not going to be speeding or anything. Just went, and we're going to be right on time when we get there. So we'll have time to set up our stuff and go get the equipment, the PA system and all that out of storage, and we'll be on time. But we went through another whirlwind, and the same thing happened. It just shook the car, and my friend was asleep, but I felt like, boy, this glory is really more intense than the first time. And so it worked out where we got back to Reno from Las Vegas 2 hours again earlier than our normal drive would have taken. And the meeting that night was just filled with angels. It was filled with glory, and all these miracles began to happen. And a lot of us were just sitting, they didn't know the story, but a lot of us were just sitting back. Oh my gosh, this is something special going on here. People getting healed everywhere. People were laid out on the floor everywhere, soaking in his glory, couldn't move, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything but lay on the floor and enjoy what God was doing there. So it marked another transition in the ministry to a different dimension that night, and it continued to happen. So I just want to share those things with you today, and thank you for listening. Again, join us on Patreon, and we'll put the links on there for you, and hope to see you soon. God bless you. Good night.